Hello, my name is Jessica Fellinger, and today I'll be talking about yoga and eating disorders. Eating disorders affect people of all body types, ethnicities, genders, or age. They affect 30 million estimated people in the United States. They include biological, psychological, and sociocultural factors. It involves an obsession with food and weight and utilization of behaviors such as binging or restricting foods or purging via vomiting, laxatives, or excessive exercise. And the question asked today is, how does yoga affect these illnesses? The first study talked about the effect of yoga in the treatment of eating disorders. It was a single-blinded, randomized controlled trial with 6 months follow-up. They found that yoga could be useful in the treatment of eating disorders. They used an eating disorder examination, EDE, and an eating disorder inventory, EDI-2. They used these before, post-test, and 6 months later in determining if the yoga helped with eating disorder symptoms. There was a significant reduction in the EDE global scale, subscale, restraint, and eating concerns, which decreased after 6 months. The EDI-2 did not show any significant changes. 38 adult females volunteered. The inclusion criteria included diagnosis of bulimia nervosa or eating disorders not otherwise specified, or EDNOS. Exclusion criteria included BMI of less than 17.5, as well as if someone had a psychotic illness. The researchers randomized the individuals and put 18 in the test group and 12 in the control group. The experimental group did 90 minutes of Hatha yoga 2 times weekly for 11 weeks. The control group was instructed not to do yoga during this time. To control for a group effect, the control group also had 2 weekly 90-minute meetings, which is part of the strength of this presentation or experiment. Statistically, an ANOVA was used. Group and time and group versus time were compared, and this showed interaction effects for group by time for EDE global, restriction, as well as eating concern. Yoga was found to be potentially useful in lowering eating disorder symptoms, but further studies have to be done to be more conclusive about this. Strengths of this study were that in the control for group effect and utilizing EDE and EDI-2 in the investigation to thoroughly look at the results of whether or not this helped with eating disorders. A weakness is that this study did not have many participants. They only had 38. Now, yoga, this other study was on yoga and eating disorders and asked if there is a place for yoga in the prevention and treatment of eating disorders and disordered eating behaviors. This study found that yoga could be used in lowering anxiety, depression, and body image distortion without impacting weight negatively. This study included 20 adolescent women in an eating disorder treatment center. One of the study's weaknesses is that this was not a large sample size and it did not include men. Men also struggle with eating disorders, so that was one of the weaknesses of this study. The participants took weekly yoga classes in addition to their eating disorder care. They took questionnaires before the classes, after 6 classes, and after 12 classes. And a significant result was found for the anxiety mean scores, the anorexia nervosa scale, and the Beck depression scale. There was not a significant change in BMI. A strength of this study was that it included participants in eating disorder treatment. They wanted to examine active eating disorders. And they concluded that yoga can be used to benefit individuals in eating disorder recovery. However, future studies may include many more participants for stronger conclusions. And here are my resources. Thank you.